Myths and legends have been around since men can write down their experiences. Many legends originated well before science could explain away many of these as some type of phenomenon. This film is a journey. Come with us as we discover a well-known site to locals, but a site simply lost in history to most. This is our version of what is weird in New Jersey.
I don't know. I've been creeped out sometimes where you get really creeped out.
I was totally freaked out because it was just so dark.
He went to jump over a fence and cut his hand on the fence, and he still had a scar on his hand, I think.
You're just underground, right under a railroad, and it's jet black, and you can't see anything.
When we first decided to create this film, we were determined to not prove or disprove these sites, but rather document them and show people both the history and oddity of the state. We began our search by questioning the reason why people are even attracted to these sites, despite the personal risk from both hazardous conditions and the risk of prosecution from the law. Some of these myths are discussed in the popular book Weird N.J. by Mark Skierman. These books have sparked a new interest in what until recently was just passed on by word of mouth. These often dangerous and risky sites range everywhere from an abandoned mental facility to an abandoned concrete shipwreck just offshore of Cape May. Rider University professors Dr. Law and Dr. Pager had their own theory as to why people believe in these myths.
There, I think, is often a desire to understand things beyond our own experience. And sometimes there are experiences we have that we can't make sense of, even if it's something simple like hearing noises or having feelings. People often report sensing things but not being able to know what they are. People commonly report experiences that are like near-death experiences that they believe represent something beyond their own life. So I think it's pretty common in human societies.
Because one might say that, there are spirits, and every once in a while we could see them or hear them or feel them, and you can say, well, that's supernatural. But what we really mean when we say that is that our current understanding of physics can't explain it. But you can expand the realm of what you mean by physics, and you say, oh, well, that's just part of a realm of physics that we haven't yet explored. Then you could say that the realm of physics is all phenomenon that occurs in the universe, in which case you would have to say that what we now call supernatural actually is explained by physical laws. They're just laws we haven't yet stumbled upon.
Because I just hear crazy stories about it and just want to see if it's true or not.
I think that they do it for fun. I mean, there's that cool show on, is it A&E, the ghost hunter guy? They're from Penn State. He does cool things. I watched his show, but it's super creepy.
I think it's, I think everybody kind of in some way, shape, or form likes to get scared. I think, that's why you go see a scary movie. That's why, you go out, camping in the dark and stuff like that. I think everybody kind of likes to have that thrill of really getting the shit scared out of you. I think it, in some way it's kind of fun.
Definitely has something going on where they really believe in it and they feel like they need to find it for some reason, but I would never do that. I would be really scared.
The overall theme we noticed from both people who have gone and who have no interest in going is a curiosity of the unknown. These myths and legends have been around for years and are passed down in our pop culture. Our team researched these legends when we discovered a group of people who dedicate their lives to researching ghost sightings in the Jersey area. This one particular ghost research group, South Jersey Ghost Research, travel all over New Jersey and parts of Pennsylvania and Delaware to help those who believe they have been experiencing hauntings. We discovered one of these supposedly haunted sites with their help right in the heart of Burlington. This historic library has a rich history of ghost sightings dating back to colonial times. This library is supposedly the home to several ghosts and is a site rich with personal accounts of sightings. With South Jersey Ghost Research help, we took a crew to examine what exactly is going on in this old colonial library. We spoke with one of the Burlington Library Company's librarians to get an appreciation for the town's rich history and what her experiences have been with South Jersey Ghost Research.
Founded in 1758, there were 60 men who found the library. There are 11 of them on the Board of Trustees. It was chartered by King George II. We are the oldest continuously operated library in the state of New Jersey. We're the 7th oldest in the nation. Our doors have never closed through the American Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the War of 1812. So we have been here for the long term. South Jersey Ghost Research is probably about the only group that we have ever let in here. Of course, this has to be all confirmed by the Board of Trustees. We have let them in because they are reputable. They're a 501c3 organization. They handle themselves very well. They're very dedicated to what they do.
This has not been the only time South Jersey Ghost Research has been to this library. In a previous investigation, their teams had uncovered ghostly recordings which they refer to as electronic voice phenomena.
Oh, that was Charlie. It's foul language.
When we arrived with the Ghost Research team, we spoke with one of their investigators to get a better understanding as to why they dedicate so much time and money to their work and what really drives them.
It started when I was young. I started with activity in my own home, and nobody in my house believed me. So I started doing research on my own to find out what it was, and this was just the next step to learn more. It was frightening because I didn't know what it was. There wasn't anything harmful there, but you know, the fear of the unknown, and at that point I didn't know what was going on, so it scared me.
While all are motivated by different personal experiences, we see how seriously they take their roles as ghost researchers. While the team was preparing for the investigation, they took a few minutes to check their equipment and show us exactly what each of their tools are used for. Unlike most thrill seekers, they carefully plan each trip and try to collect evidence.
These are some examples of our electromagnetic field detectors. ELF zone stands for extremely low frequency zone. Those you just leave out. You see it has a green light. We're looking for the yellow light to come on. Red light means that it's just detecting a high EMF, and that's not something that we're looking for. We're looking for the yellow zone. Then we use a passive infrared thermometer, and this it has a laser on it, so you can pinpoint exactly what it is, and it gives you a digital readout display. We use digital voice recorders. These are just easy to manage. We don't need to bring external microphones when we're recording, and it will not record its own machine sound because there's nothing moving inside.
I also have a HD video camera with a Bushnell night scope with infrared lights on it.
And we all use red lens flashlight, and that is to protect our night vision because we are doing things in the dark for our night vision pieces of equipment, and this will not hurt that equipment. It won't burn out the filaments, and it also protects our night vision.
When our teams finished checking our equipment, we headed into the first area which we were to investigate, the basement. We descended down dark flights of stairs with only the red light flashlights and the team's night vision equipment. While downstairs, the teams began to take photographs in search for orbs, which are collections of energy that appear in photos and EVP recordings.
In the basement by the back stairs. Hi, Charlie. How are you? I've come to talk to you again tonight. We're here out of respect, not to harm you or send you away. We would just like to talk to you. 1.2 up here. Is there anything you have to say to us? Right here. 5.5. Wow. Charlie, are you here? Wow. You use all the energy you have, Charlie, to talk to me. Maybe I can hear you.
It was after their first basement room that our investigations really became interesting. When the team moved into the second room, we split up to cover the most possible ground and continue our search. It was during this time that Matt Metzger, one of our most skeptical members of our teams, had his own encounter. The following footage is directly from one of our cameras around the time Matt felt his sensation. For some reason during this scene, our camera lights blackened out and then resumed later during the night. The light you see periodically comes from the still camera flashes.
Somebody got touched?
Right here.
You really didn't touch me?
I swear to God.
Flash.
Crossed.
Who got touched?
In the back of my neck.
Flash.
That's good. Dude, my hands have been kill you close like this.
No, nobody touched you. I was behind you.
I did it again.
When you did that.
You did it again?
Nothing was behind you, dude. Flash.
I'm losing my
In the camera strap?
no, it's down here. I got it was here. Stretched down here.
What does it feel like when you describe it?
Like I almost felt like I went crazy. Yeah, kind of that. Really? I thought you were messing around because we were in there.
Shortly after this, we continued upstairs to recharge our batteries and talk about what actually happened.
That was weird. We went down in the basement and Savs was messing around with me, and there was like 2 different rooms. I went into the one room and Savs was kind of messing around with me, hitting the back of my neck and whatnot. I went into the other room and they were trying to get, I guess, a voice on tape. And I felt something in the back of my neck and I shook my head. And one of the researchers had asked if I was okay, and I asked Sav, I said, "Were you messing with me?" And he said, "No." And that's when they took a couple pictures, and they said there were some orbs right around that area. So it's pretty freaky, because like Greg had said, I was a little skeptical about the whole thing anyway. And then figure I'm the one to get touched or whatever on the back of the neck. Oh God, that's just creepy.
We had Matt tell his account to the camera as soon as possible to keep his account accurate. Immediately after, we showed Matt some of the findings that the investigators had found. While this may all be a coincidence, several orbs were found downstairs in the still images, as well as one orb appeared over Matt's head when he felt his sensation.
So this was the first picture. And here is the energy orb. Again, the camera sees an infrared spectrum, and orbs are usually obtained in the semi-infrared spectrum of light. So that's why the camera can actually sort of see them where we can't see them with our eye. So this is after he said that he felt touched. I take one picture and you see one orb sort of in the middle of the group. And if it was dust, it wouldn't be so round and there would be lots of little specks all over. And this was the second picture taken directly afterwards. And again, you see that the energy orb is moved off a little bit. Again, even though the top is cut off, evidence-wise I probably would throw that one out because the top of the orb is cut off and I can't determine that it is 100% round. But just for this time here, we are going to say that that is an energy orb and it's in correlation to your man feeling touched on the back of the neck.
The remainder of the investigation was far less dramatic, with only minor readings and no orb sightings in the upstairs rooms. The only other location which faced some more activity was the catwalk in the main lobby. Here, one of the South Jersey Ghost Research members felt strange sensations when crossing over a patch of the walkway, which may be rumored to have had an accident at some point in the library's history.
I don't know if it was off the loft or off the building itself up here when they were building. But there was an accident. Somebody did fall.
After our visit to the Burlington Library Company, South Jersey Ghost Research did not find any concrete evidence one way or another during our visit to either fully prove or disprove any ghostly activities according to their standards. For us, we cannot take any of this as actual proof, but rather use it as a reason to consider further research and to keep an open mind. Our team originally set out to answer the question why people search after sites like these, and we found ourselves caught up right in the middle of it all. While we certainly didn't find any proof with our footage, we certainly gained a new understanding of what drives people to do these things and what drives those who fully investigate sites. Ultimately, we can only use our own minds to determine for ourselves what does and doesn't exist, but we all can walk away with a newfound understanding. Many of these weird New Jersey sites are both historical and entertaining. If approached the right way, chasing these myths and legends can be entertaining, safe, and educational. During our trip, we learned much about the history of New Jersey and still had the thrilling experience of chasing the unknown. Ultimately, everyone must decide for themselves, but no one should be destroying these sites or risking their safety in search for some thrills. There are always safe, legal, and respectful ways to let your curiosity get the better of you. And of course, exploring for yourself is the only way to experience it.